Way. Good morning, Mary Joe. How you doing? Welcome in.
Tired of the silence, the sugar-coated lies. Another headline screaming behind vacant eyes. They build up their walls so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This pressure's building is starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
Grand Rising, everyone. Happy Memorial Day. Um, this is going to be an abbreviated show. I know a lot of you probably have some errands to run, go to the grocery store, get some charcoal, get your lighter fluid, get the food you're going to grill and stuff like that. So I'm not going to hold you all that long. So it'll be an abbreviated show today. We won't go the usual 2 hours or whatnot. But before we get started, let's have a moment of silence for all of our soldiers and servicemen and women who have fought and given their lives to protect us and our freedom. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Let's get our disclaimer out the way so we can get going.
Welcome to hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. All things said in today's show is alleged and for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we request that you leave the live now. Enjoy.
Okay. So a lot of us have been saying since the whole trial of Puffy Jackets gotten started that, hey, we've won, and even really before then, when is Camel Face going to face justice as well? Right? Now, if you go back about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, I done a show and we brought up the fact that Pimp C, God rest his soul, didn't like Camel Face and didn't want to do the song Big Pimpin', which I'm going to be honest with you all, I'm not really a big Camel Face fan. But I do have to give credit where credit is due. And he does have a few good tracks. You know, he do have a few good songs that he made, and this was one of them. Right? Now, but in that in that show about a year and a half ago that I done, I had brought up the fact that Pimp C didn't like Camel Face, right? Good morning, Precious Peachy. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining the live today. Happy Memorial Day to you. He didn't want to do the song with him. In fact, allegedly Pimp C's close friend, best friend, Bun B, is the one that kind of talked him into doing it. Right? Now, I gave to you all before what was his issue. What was Pimp C's issue with Camel Face? And allegedly, Camel Face, hey little brother, good morning. Allegedly, Camel Face's wife had a prior relationship, a prior intimate relationship with Pimp C. Now, you know, they all come from Texas in the area, right? So allegedly, Pimp C and Camel Face's wife had a relationship, and it was a serious relationship. I think it was really, you know, it wasn't industry fabricated. This was something that they both genuinely liked each other, right? Allegedly, and um, as you know, Camel Face marries this lady, and there's rumors about the things that he's done to her. As far as if you go, God rest his soul, Uncle Ron, the security guard, says that Camel Face keeps her de-rugged up all the time, and basically he's like holding her captive and stuff. And again, this is all alleged. I'm not saying that that is what's going on, but this is what's being stated, right? And that came from Uncle Ron. Like I said, God rest his soul. He did come out speaking pretty heavy and making some hefty and lofty allegations against Camel Face and his wife. And very soon after, unfortunately, he passed away from. You all know if you know the story. But this is what I was also stating in that show. That Pimp C had just been released from prison. And he done a radio interview. This was in 2007. And he did a radio interview with a station here in the ATL. And that, as a matter of fact, that interview was done in 2007. And it was with Hot 107.9, our hip hop and R&B radio station here, one of them. And this interview took place shortly after his release from prison, and featured him talking about the music industry, including the impact of his lyrics, and challenging artists to be more authentic. He died in December of 2007. Now, I don't know if you all have heard the interview before or not, but two things. One, I'm going to tell you. Two, if I can, I'm going to play it and let you hear it. But in the interview, he was basically calling out hip hop artists who try to pretend like they are gangsters or something like that, or you know, like they're hard and like they're street and all of this. In all actuality, they were on the DL and they played for the other team, which is fine. Again, on my platform, we don't judge, so I don't care what your orientation or your preference is or what you do behind your closed doors and in your room, right? But, and that's pretty much what he was saying. Pimp C was just telling them, like, live your truth. You know that you like bending over, and that's fine. Just say that. Don't come all out here, and putting out music and coming out and the reason why he was saying it is because he understood the range and the reach that hip hop music has on the masses and on the youth. How influential it was, right? And so he was just telling them, be honest, man. Come out and tell these people the truth, like living your truth. And in addition to basically thinking about how he took accountability on how his lyrics and what he was putting out, how it would affect or impress the youth as well. So he wanted to scale back and change on what he wanted to start rapping about instead of trying to bring more disparity to the community, black and brown communities, right? So that's what he was getting on. And now let's fast forward to his untimely demise. There was an interview done by one of his relatives, and I think this relative was his cousin. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think it was his cousin. It was a relative, I know that, but I think it was his cousin. And he was saying how when they went to the hotel room where Pimp C allegedly passed away, that when they went in, there was no, his homie was on the other side. Oh, okay. when they went into the room, the way they described it was it looked more like a satanic ritual than anything else. And they said it was candles burning down, like, had been burning and stuff, and that his hands was tied behind his back and stuff, and like how he was found, it looks like it was more of a ritualistic unaliving. Now again, that's what they're saying. They went. I wasn't there. I don't know, but I am conveying it to you guys. What was said. Now, like I said, a lot of us was wondering when Camel Face was going to face any justice. Now, if what I found is true, if what and who is the source of this? I got it from Creative Mind. If what Creative Mind is sharing, this could be an introduction to Camel Face finally facing justice. Now, again, we've all heard about him being allegedly having a hand in baby girls passing and, stuff like that. And again, these are all alleged. It's all alleged. Hadn't been proven. And of course, given the people they hang around with and the people they have covering them, they can move pretty easy without being, caught or anything. But listen to the audio because Creative Mind. Wait, is it Creative Mind? No. I'm sorry. Scratch that. Cultural Spill is the source. Culture Spill. If what Culture Spill is saying, if it's true, we may be on to something. And the heading says Beehive and Pimp C affair named in Diddy, Puffy Jacket trial. And it says Beehive not innocent. So without further ado, we're going to play the audio and I'll let you all listen in.
Child, people who were in Houston when there were rumors of a Pimp C tape know who was loose. And you know who they're talking?
I hate commercials.
We pretty much take it all. Fridges.
Hold on, let's get past this commercial.
Rose, please. The one and only Beyonce. Allegedly.
Who was in this Pimp C tape?
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B.
I told y'all this part too. I paused it for a minute, so don't worry, you ain't missing nothing. But I told y'all that Pimp C had a video of some intimate moments with him in Beehive. And then with him starting to come out and expose hip-hop artists. And we see how hard some of these artists that's in the hip-hop game try to cover up the fact that they on the down low. So let's go.
Chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire, man. Whoever it was, they would have to kill me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. Okay. A lot of people figured out because, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose.
And that's not even the worst part. Based on some whispers making rounds, Beyonce's name is going to come up pretty heavily in Diddy's trial. And prosecutors are going to expose everything. From how she allegedly participated in the freak-offs, what she knows about Cassie, what she knows about girls being transported around borders, what Jay-Z did to hide their shenanigans, everything.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough? You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
And based on what I've heard, Beyonce's very spicy and racy past is going to be put on blast as well. A lot.
And she was trained at the esteemed Berkeley College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington. Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington. who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls.
Well, basically, what people have been saying is that there's no way Beyonce and Jay-Z could be close friends with Diddy for 2 decades, be business partners, attend his parties, know his family, have countless business ties, vacation together multiple times, know all his kids, and not be complicit or at least aware of the illegal extracurricular activities Diddy is facing trial for. So,
What y'all think about that? Y'all think that's true? You think that's a true statement? If you do, put a 1 in the chat. If you think that they could possibly spend all those times with them and go on vacation and not know them, put 2 in the chat.
of course, it wouldn't be surprising if both Jay-Z and Beyonce are called to the stand. And while the prosecution may largely focus on the relationship between Diddy and the Carters, we know how these trials go. And most of the time, they unearth seemingly unrelated skeletons just to make a connection. Now, in Beyonce's case, what I've heard is that the prosecution intends to paint her as one of the girls who was being transported across borders. And to do that, they're going to have to bring up Beyonce's alleged dark past. And I'm talking about everything from when she truly started dating Jay-Z, like her age at the time, to intimate activities she has participated in, similar to freak-offs. Guys, that's where Pimp C and their alleged tape comes in. Okay, just for a bit of background, back in the day, Pimp C first signed to Jive Records in 1992 as part of UGK with Bun B, and they released their major label debut album, Too Hard to Swallow. The group then followed this with their second and third major label albums, Super Tight in 1994 and Ridin' Dirty in 1996, both of which charted in the Billboard 200. The group also received national attention in 2000 after being featured on Jay-Z's hit single, Big Pimpin', which peaked at number 18 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the Rhythmic Top 40. Then they went on hiatus for the first half of the 2000s, and both members pursued solo careers. Unfortunately, in December 2007, on Jay-Z's birthday, Pimp C was found dead in his hotel room, with a coroner's report attributing his death to complications stemming from heavy consumption of lean and his pre-existing condition of sleep apnea. As for what exactly happened, Pimp C had been staying in the Mondrian Hotel in West Hollywood, California, where he had been working on new music and performing with Too Short. On the morning of December 4th, 2007, he was scheduled to fly back home, where his wife was waiting with his cousin at the airport to pick him up. And after not hearing from him the morning of the scheduled flight, his wife called the hotel and requested that they check on him. Based on reports, the hotel staff discovered Pimp C unresponsive in his hotel room, where paramedics pronounced him dead shortly after. Well, here's where it gets interesting. According to DJ Paul of 3 6 Mafia, Pimp's manager described seeing Pimp's body laying down like he was praying, but there was blood around like he was hit. They thought he was probably hit in the head, but they didn't know what happened because there was blood everywhere. Based on what DJ Paul said, Pimp was knelt down like he was praying, and the candles were all the way burnt down. So they knew he'd probably been dead for a day or so because he always lit those candles to sleep. We even had someone like Too Short saying that he found the circumstances of Pimp C's death a little sus when he told...
Hey, and shout out to... Hey, good morning, Marie. How you doing, bestie? Shout out to Too Short. Because we know we live... we've seen it. We're seeing it now, currently. Where something weird happens or something that is not... It don't look like it's on the up and up happens. But people, especially now, they turn a blind eye to it. They don't mention it. They don't talk about it. They don't bring it up or nothing. And we know why they do that. We do know why. But so shout out to Too Short for saying, hey, I ain't saying, but I'm just saying something ain't right.
Told Hip Hop DX, I can't believe it's 10 years and I have never till this day been able to accept the circumstances. That's a lot of these little weird situations with folks getting found in hotel rooms and they always be by themselves in a hotel somewhere in some strange ish. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on with these celebrities and hotel rooms? Checking the 27 Club? You know what this is. Then he also said in an interview with Vlad TV that to him, the death just didn't add up.
It's like, I heard some shit about he has clothes on.
Do you own your own home in Georgia? But
Commercial.
I don't really know if all this is true, but I just heard parts like, I'm like, what happened to my guy?
Right.
And then they come out with the official. It was a mixture of some stuff, the prescription and something else or something that I don't really know. But with me, I never really heard something that would give that closure for me. Mm-hmm. I never really heard anything tangible or true, like what happened to my guy.
Now, let's talk about the Pimp C and Beyonce situation, because honestly, this rabbit hole goes deep. Okay, I know that a lot has been said about what really happened to Pimp C, including the allegations that Jay-Z was the one who had him unalived because of his alleged involvement with Beyonce. But even before that, one thing you should know is that Pimp C never liked Jay-Z. And I know that because in an episode of The Art of Dialogue, record executive Greg Taylor told a story about an awkward encounter that happened over the phone with Jay-Z and Pimp C. The story was that shortly after the deal for Jay-Z and UGK to collaborate on Big Pimpin' was cut, he called Pimp C. And then during the call that was unfortunately on speakerphone, he delivered the news to Pimp C. And Pimp C straight up dissed Jay-Z.
We set it up a meeting to go meet with Dame Dash. So we go after I leave Java, go to Rock to the Rock. As soon as I sit down there, Dame Dash opened up his checkbook, cut a check for $1 million. I'm like, whoa. He like, I was like, is this for sure? He was like, no. He said, we want to with UGK. I was like, what? He's like, we want to with your boys. That's right. So I immediately picked up the phone and called Pimp C. Because all I was trying to get was 100,000. When Dame cut that $1 million, I called Pimp on the phone like, yo, Pimp. And him and Jamal was in the house. And I could hear a tussle or some type of confrontation, right? And I'm like, calm down, bro. Y'all calm down, Pimp.
I ran up the cable bill.
They was fighting. They was fighting like hard. And I'm like, Pimp, stop whatever you doing right now. I told you what was going down with Jamal when you moved him up in there. I said, but right now, I got $1 million check for you. And all we want was 100,000. I was just like, who is that with? I said, with Rockefeller. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm watching Dan with the checkbook, he writing out. He was like, ain't that with, over there with Jay-Z? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, tell him to take that check and go give it to Tupac Mama, man. He's gonna be stealing all my shit. I was like, what?
Note that Pimp C refused to take $1 million from Jay-Z's label because he thought they would rip him off, and even said that they should give the money to Tupac's mom. Interesting. What exactly is the connection between Jay-Z and Tupac? And why would Pimp say that they should give the money to Tupac's mom? Anywho, the thing is that Pimp C was vocal about what he knew, and he wasn't one to play the industry game. He called people out. He didn't care who you were. Diddy, Jay, nobody was off limits. And we all know the industry, especially people like Jay-Z and Diddy, don't like loud truth tellers. And then add on to that the allegation that he hooked up with Beyonce and even made a tape. Child, if that wasn't the perfect recipe to have him unalived, I don't know what is. Well, about that alleged relationship with Beyonce, there was a time when Bun B was narrating how one time they were in the studio with Beyonce and Pimp C was there as well. And Jay-Z called the studio to find out who was there. Then when he was told that Beyonce was dressed in a spicy outfit, he demanded that all the men, especially Pimp C, vacate the room.
Hold on. Y'all good? Y'all rocking with me? Put a 1 in the live if you straight and you can hear the audio. 2 if you really can't hear it. I stopped it right there for a reason. Because you heard Culture Spill say that Camel Face, my moderator's gonna be mad at me, that slipped. Camel Face called the studio that Beehive was in, right? And when it was told what she had on, he wanted all of the men there to leave. I pointed that out because that's that controlling thing. And that's the same thing at Puffy Jacket. It's the same pattern of behavior he has with his female, like controlling it, right? Bessie said, if you rocking, we rolling. All right, we good. You see what I'm saying? So I want to, because we say birds of a feather. Y'all know the rest.
So he's like, wait a minute, how many dudes are there? And so she's like, oh, it's about 9 or 10 guys, I guess, over there. Where are they now? They're in here, they're in the soundstage, they're kind of watching her film. What is she wearing? They describe the outfit, and he's like, yo, clear the room.
Wow.
So they immediately come over to us, and they kick all of us out, and send us up to our dressing rooms.
Wow.
And we're told to stay there.
Wow.
Until we have to shoot.
Okay.
We're not allowed to watch Beyonce dance anymore in the video.
Actually, when Bun B was talking about his interactions with Beyonce, he also recalled the time when Beyonce's father told Pimp C not to hook up with Beyonce.
You know, and Matthew Knowles comes in.
Thank you for
and
that
asks
heart, me.
Pimp,
I
"Can talk to
appreciate
you for a
that.
minute?"
Who's that from?
And so they leave out for a couple of minutes, and Pimp comes in, and he's dying laughing.
Does that say I am Miss
And
Carol?
we're like,
Thank you
like,
so
what's
much.
wrong? He's like, yo, Matthew Knowles just told me don't f his daughter, man. Please don't. Please, my daughter.
So basically, word on the street is that this is just one of the things that could come up from Beyonce's past if she takes the stand. But we also know that she's been mentioned quite a few times in relation to this case, right? I mean, there have already been reports that Cassie actually implicated Jay-Z and Beyonce in her initial lawsuit. The thing is, Cassie's lawsuit was allegedly initially 60 pages, but it was narrowed down to 35 pages. And in these pages that were removed, Cassie allegedly also talked a lot about Beyonce and Jay-Z. It is actually said that Jay-Z and Beyonce were implicated in the lawsuit for witnessing Diddy strike Cassie and push her down at one of Diddy's parties. Allegedly, what was in the lawsuit described an incident where after Beyonce witnessed Diddy striking Cassie, Cassie fled upstairs and locked herself in one of the bedrooms. Then Diddy security tracked her down and Cassie took 30 minutes or more to get herself together. Allegedly, once Cassie was on her way returning to the party, Beyonce and Jessica Alba were waiting for her in the foyer of the house to check on her. Cassie said that Beyonce was visibly upset, and as Diddy and Jay were walking towards them, Beyonce blew a gasket and screamed at Diddy, telling him that what he did was highly offensive and unacceptable. Then Diddy got on his knees and apologized to Cassie, Beyonce, and Jessica. Beyonce was also reportedly super mad at Jay-Z, and she asked him why he was comforting Diddy instead of checking him. And she reportedly even told Jay-Z that she was starting to lose respect for him. Reportedly, after that incident, Beyonce, Cassie, Jessica, and about 20 to 25 people left the party after witnessing what happened or hearing about it. The source also said that Cassie left with Jessica and her people because she knew that if she left with Beyonce, Diddy would track her down because of the connections he had with Jay-Z. Also, remember when Jaguar Wright claimed that Jay-Z and Beyonce are a nasty couple who keep people against their will, putting them on planes while they're unconscious to illegally transport them across borders for you know what.
Victim.
Now, I paused it there because they are mentioning, because a lot of people don't really quite understand what Ricardo charges mean. And so I paused it there because what she just said and stated, if it's true, that's what one of the things they're going to use to support the Ricardo charges against Puffy Jacket.
Potentially, do you think there could be?
Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims
Demetrius, what's
right
up, brother?
now
Yes, it is. It's very dirty, brother.
who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane.
Okay, I pause it right there because just in case that person's in here from a few days ago when I was talking about baby girl not wanting to go on the plane. And they said I was lying. Talking with JoJo. Thank you, bestie. Hey, everybody, talking with JoJo. That's my bestie. Go and follow her, please. She has great content. She does awesome shows. Go and follow her right now. I'll give you time to go follow her. I'll wait. Just listen to me. You go ahead and do that. Listen, I was telling you a couple of days ago. How you doing this morning, bestie? I was telling you a few days ago on the show. And people were like, no, that's not true. I try to tell you. Baby girl didn't want to get on the plane. I even told you. You are my bestie as well. You right, Marie. You are. I got the best besties in the world. That's how I look at it. Look, y'all keep me up. Y'all keep me up for sure. Lenny Kravitz sent her his private plane. I was going to, because she didn't want to get on that little small plane. I said that. Anna Marie, oh, I remember you. Hey, I'm glad you found me too, girl. Look, They banned me. They banned my other one, the original account. That's why you couldn't find me no more. So we had to make a new channel, but we still giving you the same truth. We just have to finesse the wordage of verbiage a little bit, but you know, we're still doing it. I'm glad you found us, and I'm glad you back in the family. But she didn't want to get on there. And there's a backup singer who was there, one of Baby Girl's backup singer, and she said that they all had reservations about getting on this plane. And so, I'm not the one to try to say I told you so. I'm lying. I am. I'm petty like that because a lot of people come in and try to disrupt it alive when you're just basically giving them the truth. And see, that's allowing people like this to get away with everything because your unwillingness to connect the dots. Just listen. Don't listen to respond. Just listen, and then you can go and put your dots together and do your investigation. I don't have a dog in the fight. So I have no reason to sit up here and lie to you. But I can tell you what I know. Right, Sugar 88. If the shoe fits, you get me? I mean, there's no, she put that the best way possible. See, sometimes we have to take our feelings out of it and just deal with the facts. Now, don't get me wrong, people. I know some of it may be hard for you to get, but I need you to understand it. They've designed it that way. It's supposed to be hard for you to get. It's supposed to be done in front of you and them get away with it. El Cazon, thank you for that heart meet. I appreciate it. Thank you for the love. Let's give it up for El Cazon for becoming the number 23 fan in the fan club. So you got to understand, it's all the optical illusion. And really, that's part of the fetish that they have. The innate ability to create art, right? But it actually be real life situation. Rumors go away, but their rumors have been around for decades. That part, KDHN. Kaden, that's right, man. Listen. You were saying it right. Like, that's another thing. You can't be mad when people who don't even know each other or hang around the same circle or even relevant in the same time span, they telling you the same experience. You get me? So yeah, that's why I have to. I come back and say that, like, you, because literally a few days ago, people was like, "No, that is not true. Aaliyah did want to get on the plane. It was just she said it was small. No, she didn't." And I even told you that for that little scene that and I forgot the person who was filming her video, Rock the Boat video. I'm not sure. Was it F. Gary Gray? I'm not sure. I don't want to put it on nobody. If I don't know the person, I can't remember the person that was producing the video. But in any event, they were already in Miami, right? So, and like I said, for those of you that have been to Miami, you know what I'm saying. Those of you who haven't been to Miami, I pray that you go, just as long as it's the right part. But they could have shot that part in the part that he was trying to get her to do. They could have shot that in Miami and just passed it off as being the Bahamas or whatnot, right? Hey, hold on one second, Katie. I'm gonna bring you up, but just give me 1 second. Let me finish. I got a couple more, one more segment to play. Then I'll bring you up. I promise. They could have shot it there. She really didn't have to fly to the Bahamas to film her gyrating or dancing or whatever she was. You know, don't get me wrong. It was beautiful no matter where she did it or whatever. But what I'm saying is that was a risk that didn't have to be taken. But it was almost like they was forcing her to have to go to the Bahamas. You get it? If I can correlate that to something, it would have to be somebody, this artist, this rapper, one of the greatest rappers of all time, was supposed to be in London, but somebody of a puffy jacket nature did all they could to sabotage this man from going to London so he would come to LA. And look what happened to him. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
And everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting AirTag on children during visits. These are normal practices that these people do.
Like, isn't this the exact same thing Diddy is being accused of? In addition, there have been
that right,
allegations that Beyonce also participated in the freak-offs. So like I said, there are a lot of connections between Diddy and the Carters. Allegedly. But the real question is, could Jay-Z have had something to do with Pimp C's death? Well, there's no hard proof, but the whispers have never died. And could this all resurface because of Diddy's mess? Absolutely. Because if one domino falls, the whole structure could collapse. Child, I don't think Beyonce and Jay-Z are going to avoid their own skeletons coming up if they take the stand. But you let me know if they can somehow avoid it in the comments section below.
Okay, that's first thing. That's first thing. And again, if that is true, and shout out to Culture Spill. Shout out to her. But if that is true, look, we could be, man, this thing could go down, down, down. It could go down to a whole different rabbit hole. Michi says, why didn't he release his final album? Why Kim's book wasn't able to be released? He was trying to block all of that, right? Sugar88, thank you for that daily heart me. I appreciate it. Let's give it up for Sugar88 for becoming the number 24 fan in the fan club. Appreciate that. Thank you for the love and support. Well, see, and that's, Michi, that's what I'm saying. Like, they go to great lengths to cover up any truth that could come out. And so when you go to the fact that he already didn't like Camel Face, had a relationship with Camel Face's wife, and had video of him and Camel Face's wife in their intimate moments, and then he goes on the radio station here in the A and basically was exposing Valerie James. Good morning. Welcome to the live. How you doing? Goes on the radio, does an interview, and basically is exposing these rappers who aren't what they portray themselves to be. Well, now if you go and you pay attention to what Kim Porter says in her book, her alleged book, we'll say that because, you know, we still got people who they don't want to see the light. Her alleged book, she says Camel Face and Puffy Jacket was in the bed together. And she said, thankfully, she didn't have to go in and participate. I'll use that word with them, right? So if you put it all together, like, it's right there. It's right there. So now, by him coming out on the radio and saying, hey, these rap, and even if he wasn't going to say Camel Face or Puffy Jacket specifically, they probably felt the burn or felt, hey, he might be coming for me, especially Camel Face. He may be coming for me because he do know. You understand? So now, here's what we're going to do. I found that interview. So we're going to try to play some of it. Now, I don't want to mess up the platform. So I don't want to compromise the integrity of the show. So if the language start getting a little out there, we're going to have to cut it short, all right? But I'm going to try to play it. And this is from Creative Mind.
I 1079 ATL. I know y'all done heard about all the stuff in the Ozone magazine. You know what I'm saying? Asking about Pimp C. What's he talking about? Is he talking about the ATL? Pimp C. We got Pimp C on the phone right now. Pimp C.
Yeah, what's up?
What up, Pimp C? Talk to me, homeboy. What's going on with this stuff in the Ozone magazine, man? A-Town's kind of furious.
You tell me how you took it, I'm going to tell you what I meant.
Okay, let me tell you what the A-Town's saying. The A-Town's basically saying, you know, why you they think you dissing Atlanta.
Thank you for that
talking
big
about
shout out.
Atlanta's
I appreciate
the
that
South.
talking with JoJo.
First of all, listen to this. I used to
Thank
live
you,
in
bestie.
Atlanta from 96 till 2001. Okay?
All right.
That's the first thing. The second thing is this. When I get off the airplane in Atlanta, what time is it?
It's whatever time it is out here, homie.
It's Eastern Standard Time.
But it's still on the south side of the map.
Okay? But it's Eastern Standard Time, ain't it?
On the south side of the map, yeah.
Answer my question. Is it Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah, it is on the south side of the map.
All right. Well, after saying that, listen to this. All my statements are my statements. That's how I feel. And feelings is like booty holes. Anybody can have their own feelings. That's my feelings. That ain't got nothing to do with Bun B. Okay, that's the first thing. So let's separate Pimp C statements from UGK and Bun B. That's the first thing we got to do.
All right. Okay.
Next thing we got to do is this. You got some people over there that feel a certain way that I might not like how they feel. But that's how I feel. If you want to get mad at me for the way I feel, then go and get mad at me. And a fight go with that. You feel?
We use a spectrum savings calculator.
You can hear it. He said what he said. He's staying on business.
It just seemed like you real angry.
You know why I'm mad? Let me tell you why I'm mad. I'm mad because everybody on these records lying. Everybody lying. Everybody's
Lot 121. What up, bestie?
Everybody's the hardcore.
That's my
gangsters.
boy right there.
Everybody gonna do this to each other when they see
Yeah,
each
he's
other.
the truth.
And the truth be told, we too blessed and we having too much money in this rap game to be going to war with each other.
Right. Okay.
And the truth be told, don't nobody want to fight nobody in this rap game. Because 98% of these dudes.
Hold on, let me pause it right there because I'm gonna fill you in case you listening slow. He talking too fast or whatnot, right? Dev, good morning, Dev. How you doing? Listen, what he's doing right now is called uplifting the black and brown community. It's called he's uplifting the hip hop community. He's basically telling them stop rapping about the D-rugs and calling female the B words and all that. Let's clean this up because we are worth more than what they want us to come out here and act like. And when I say I'm talking about the record company. I'm talking about the elite. You see what I'm saying? You understand? Yeah, Locke. He's calling out all of the rappers who pretend like they hard, but they like Fruit Loops. And Russell, he was talking about the industry as a whole. This is the last interview we did here in Atlanta. And then, after this interview, of course, a few months later, he was unalive.
This coward.
You got any specific artists you referring that to?
I'm not dissing nobody, man. I'm just telling you that if we don't clean it up, we're going to lose everything we fought to get, man. Don't you see that the game is fit to lead us south and go somewhere else if we don't straighten up?
Yeah, we see that. We know. I know what's going on.
Thank you for that heartbeat. I appreciate that, Angel.
Clean it for us.
All right, so what do you?
Let's give it up
by
for
you saying
Angel.
that, what do you think needs
Coming
to
to
be
number
done?
25 fan in the fan club.
Come on, man. At the end of these records we listen to, we don't get nothing out of them no more, man. We don't get no social commentary. We ain't getting no kind of
Thank you,
knowledge
talking
out
with
these
JoJo. I
records.
appreciate that,
Everybody just
bestie.
talking about how many chains they got on and how much dope they sold. But the truth of the matter
We
is
love
this,
TikTok
I don't
Shop.
believe you because I know you do and I know you didn't sell no dope.
Love
And
TikTok
the
Shop.
next thing is this. Say, man, I'm from Texas, man. I'm from the game. Them prices that them boys talking about, man, them boys ain't got no prices like that in no Atlanta. And if you do, right now, Brian son, where my people at, we'll buy it and flush it down the toilet. We don't support drugs. But show
We
it
love
to me,
TikTok
man,
Shop.
'cause I know where it on backpacks. I know where they past they rolled up in Timberland boots in 1998, and they acting like they some big-time drug dealers. Okay.
Pause. Okay, listen. I'm doing great. How you doing? How are you? I really don't know if I can keep playing it because he's raw. He's raw. And I love it. I love it. Look, I ain't got nothing against what he's saying. But y'all know TT is sensitive. If anything, I agree with everything he's saying. Hey, hashtag I'm going to say it. That's what we do. Just say it. But we have to be, because this platform is, put it like this, it's picky on what you can say and the truth you can tell. Now, if you're going to tell the truth, or if you, I ain't going to say tell the truth, if you about, you know, contributing to a racial divide, they all for it. But if you are giving the truth about the industry and how this works, they don't like that. So I don't know. We're gonna give it a few. We're gonna give it a few more minutes. We're gonna give it a few more minutes. I don't know if we're gonna. Yeah, Michi, it's just like real life. Valerie says, "I wish TT would allow First Amendment rights." Yeah, you are so right, Valerie. I do too, because it makes this hard. It makes it hard because, in all actuality, he ain't saying nothing bad. And then here you have people such as myself talking with JoJo and others that are trying to just get this truth out, and then we're being, you get me? And I don't like that. KDHN, right. TT is part of the problem too. It is. It really is. It really is. So I'm going to try a few more minutes of it and see if we can see, hopefully.
Okay?
Okay.
So right now, this is what I'm telling you. Y'all want to get mad at the pimp. Don't get mad at the bun, and don't put the UGK on it. Get mad at the pimp. This is my opinion. This is me. I'm talking. I'm a man. And I stand up. And let me say this while I'm at it. All them people that was talking about they want to kill 50 Cent, want to do all that to this man. Hey, man, when somebody really wants something to happen to you, it's going to happen to you whether you want it to or not. And I just saw 50 Cent walk off the stage at the BET Awards with no bodyguards right in front of all them dudes that were talking about they was going to slap him when they saw him. And I ain't seen nothing happen to him.
So basically, you just calling the game real fake, and you saying that the music need to go back to some real lyrics. And
this the next thing, man. Anytime an artist in Atlanta makes crunk music and get on a record, they need to shout out to 3-6 Mafia, because y'all know that's where that music started at, man. And y'all know for a fact that UGK started the word trill. Y'all know this, man. Y'all know we started this here.
Everybody.
Hey, speaking of that, shout out to Bon B and his restaurant, Trill Burgers. That look good. If I ever get the opportunity, if I'm blessed to make it to Houston, I've got to try one.
In Atlanta, feels like you diss them. They feel this
but if
because
they would read between the lines and hear what I'm telling them, I ain't dissing them. We got to check ourselves before somebody else check us. Because this would have hurt a whole lot more coming from somebody on the East Coast or from the West Coast than coming from one of our forefathers down here.
But then what you saying that we're not even from the South, like Atlanta ain't the South, like, you know, it's a lot of UGK fans that got their feelings hurt today because they really love you.
Here's the truth of the matter. I love them too. But we got to straighten out the game. And if the statement was made in the wrong context, I apologize about that. But I meant what I was saying. And maybe it was heard the wrong kind of way. But what I'm saying is this. Hey, man, when I get out the plane, I got to change my watch. Because I live in Texas, and I'm on Central Time.
Okay.
All right?
That's Central.
So that's my opinion. I can have my opinion.
Yeah,
you might not like my opinion, but that's my opinion.
All right, so everybody running around, they're basically telling Jeezy, because the magazine hasn't hit the stands, that you were pointing him out with the 17-5.
And the Meech talk.
The what?
This says the magazine's making it seem like you pointing out Jeezy with the 17-5 talk, and it says it has something
and
here about
everybody's
Meech.
blowing up Jeezy phone saying that, you know, basically that it's about to be some beef between you and him. So, like, I mean, that's just the talk in Atlanta.
And the Russell Simmons.
Let me say this. There's a whole bunch of people lying. So if you want to point fingers at somebody, let's point fingers at everybody. If I was going to diss Young Jeezy, I would have came right out and said his name and dissed him. I'm not scared of no man. And the next thing is this. They need to free Big Meech because it's all circumstantial evidence. And the next thing is this. Everybody was down and everything was cool with BMF before they got busted. Everybody wanted to be down with the play until they got busted. And then when it went sour, then nobody want to fly the flag no more. Am I lying or telling the truth?
I think it's because they ain't want to go to jail, though.
Yeah, but they was down when the party was going on and everybody was throwing money in the club. Everybody was still down. So you got to be down in the good time and the bad time. When I went to prison, Bun stayed down with me in the bad time. So when your partner go to prison, you got to stay down in the bad time and the good time. If you was Black Mafia family in the streets, when they was spending all that money in the strip club, you need to be Black Mafia family right now when everybody getting indicted. And let me say it again. If I was going to diss somebody, I'm going to say their name to their face, and a fight go with that. So now,
What? I love that. I'm going to say the name to the face, and a fight go with it. He let you... Woo. Hey, KDHN, let's go ahead. How you doing? How you doing? First of all, welcome to the panel. How you doing?
Good morning, man. I'm doing good, man. How I feel about this topic is about damn time. With everything, what's done in the dark got to come to the light. And
Facts.
I'm an artist myself, but I've been hearing this like since I was a kid, a child. You feel me? I'm a '90s baby, so I'm still young. So these are stories that's like our parents and our parents' parents told, right? And it's like rumors. Like I said, that's what I said about rumors. Rumors have the tendency like to go away. Truth is consistent, right? So if it's the truth, it's gonna be consistent. You feel me? You can outlive a lie, right? And then, but for some reason, these allegations or whatever that they not going away. In fact, not only are they not going away, they getting more refined. Like it's wine or some shit. Like you would have thought it was a Pinot Noir. Like why are these? Right. I got my nephew here. So
what's up, nephew?
Why are these things still existing? And why do we? And we always say this, especially with our community. We always love to say black proverbs, you know what I'm saying? Like birds of a feather flock together and all these metaphors. But we always want to, until we have these real conversations of being accountable and idolism, right? Now all the metaphors are, oh no, don't say that. That's too much. You got to shush. It's just like, no. Like Pimp C said on the radio, be consistent. And that goes from the top and the bottom. And honestly, the complicitness is why these people get up to these thresholds of power like they do, and they can exploit people like they can. And it's not just, these are, the deeper you go, you find out, and I'm trying to be careful because I got in trouble last time on TT. So
Thank you.
The deeper you go, the higher you look, right? The deeper you go into the details, the more you see how intricate these it's not just an individual case. No, these are industries like the modeling industry, the food industry, the whatever marketing, right? I just learned, like they said, dang, can you even say this? Dang it.
Yeah, you might use charades.
I'm gonna say add a P to it. The Pentagon, right? The Pentagon has a budget, has a budgeting on marketing that goes for hip hop, that goes for entertainment such as reality TV, that goes for all of these things that conveniently black people think this is like, derogatory and just like we don't like it. A lot of us don't like it, right? But if the government invests in this types of marketing, then they also would mean that they enable these behaviors, which means that these behaviors are backed by people we bring our tax dollars to, right? So it's not just, oh, that's a star, I like his image, I like it. No, some of these things are handpicked. Some of these things are assigned. Some of these things are enabled, right? So, and the sad part is, it's like a lot of people compartmentalize it, like, oh, that's my favorite, that's my fave's star issue. Like that's one issue. It's like, no, go deeper, look deeper. It's a continuous behavior of predatory tactics, right? And I'm so glad we have these cases open, because it's like, this case is gonna be here for like 7 weeks. We only hit week 2, and we done learn too much.
Already.
Way too much. Like we done learn way too much about it. And now, like I said about these rumors coming into the light and being more refined, like it's all laid out. And now up until this point, now the real conversation is, where I'm at with it is, how do we not allow this to happen again? Because we even see Smokey, what's his name? Smokey got a damn case. Like, come on, Smokey.
That's wild. That's
come
bananas.
on, bro. Like, come
Crazy
on.
word. Crazy
Like,
word.
ain't gonna be no music at the cookout at this point. So what I'm saying is like, and I'm saying this as a youth. You feel me? I'm saying this as a youth, and because I tried to have these talks with my parents, and what really opened my eyes was the R. Kelly case. And I'm just seeing these generations of victims because he did this thing for 30 years. And I started looking at the parents because it's like, y'all allowed this man for 30 years? Like, he on camera, like and at the Apollo with signs up talking about 18, 19-year-olds come home. I'm like, there's a societal issue with us, and especially with our community, because I don't really care about nobody other community. I'm because the other communities got options. They got country singers, they got opera singers, they got all this, right? Why do we see a perpetuation of this activity, and the people that we idolize? They're not only just people we idolize, but we also know they're gatekeepers to this certain activity. And how do we know, like, how do we see like another protege, right? Let's say another talented black artist comes along, right? And it's another star in the making, like Michael Jackson, Prince, Camel Face, Puff Jacket, right? How do we make sure and protect them to make sure they don't get radicalized in these ways to then become gatekeepers, right? Because these were average people at one point, right? People who were just desperate enough to climb for power, right? How do we tell the system, like, we're not going to support these records, we're not going to do this, we're not going to keep funding this type of representation? And I think a lot of the times we be folding a lot because a lot of the stuff, like, there has been victims, and what we do, we shun them. Oh man, you don't know what you talk about. He famous. He got mad. Look at his. They always go to tangibles. Look at his drip.
Yes.
Look at his cars. Look at his man. You gonna stop his money? Man, you a hater. Okay.
Yes.
Until it's your daughter. Until you looking for your daughter. Until you looking for your son. Until you looking for somebody. Now you want those same systems, or now you want these same protections from these people that you told us to. Man, shut up and pay attention to the chains. I'm going to tell you that. Shut up and pay attention to that outfit. Nah, You see the drip? I ain't going to help you and your daughter. You see the drip? He ain't do that. How could you? Yeah, I let my play know.
Hey, KDAGN, brother. First of all, peace and blessings to you on your journey, your lyrical journey, your professional journey. And before I let you go, I want to answer your question, though. The only way that this train stops is if we all come together, invest stock in our own record companies, and run it with dignity. And you're right. As long as people keep harping in or paying attention to the chains, guess what? Once theirs is in chains, and I don't mean the diamond chains, I mean in chains.
Yeah, you cooking metaphorically.
Right, metaphor, exactly. Until their loved one is in those chains, will we be able to move forward? Now, we are going to continuously try to prevent theirs, even if we know them or don't know them. We're going to try to continuously prevent theirs from going in those chains, because just because one person chooses to use intentional ignorance, that doesn't mean we all got to.
Right.
Do me a favor, brother, before I drop you down, or when I drop you down, do me a favor. Put your all your musical credentials up there, as far as like your album or where they can find your music, and let's support you.
Yeah, definitely. No, real talk. Thank you.
Appreciate it, brother. And you welcome here. Hashtag I'm gonna say it anytime you feel like dropping by, brother.
I like that energy. Have a good one.
You too. Peace and blessings. Now, he gives me hope. He gives me hope when I hear someone of his age, that youth that's already got the third eye open and see what's going on. That gives me hope. And it is my prayer that by him having a manifesting that mentality that he does, that his music impacts those around him and those afar, and that he blesses them with the same knowledge that he possesses, because again, that's the only way we get this thing back on track. And I don't know if it's ever been on track, but put it like this, it gives us hope going forward. You know, so I definitely appreciate that, brother. Make sure you put any platform that your music is on. Please post it in the live, and everybody, let's go and give him some support because it's refreshing to hear an artist who isn't going in the same direction as the machine is going. You see what I'm saying? So love that, brother. All right, we're gonna try to play some more. We're gonna try to play some more.
Ain't this Young Jeezy? Because Young Jeezy ain't the only one spitting fake dope prices. I'm dissing everybody lying about selling drugs. It ain't touched a
We love TikTok Shop.
All right, what's up with the Russell Simmons comment?
What about it?
I mean, it's basically saying that he's a
Okay.
That's kind of self-explanatory. But Mr. Pimp C, basically, do you think, all right,
TikTok Shop.
Bun held it down. There were a lot of, quote unquote, fake rappers supporting the UGK movement while you were locked away. Do you think that your comments are going to ruin some of the relationships that Bun B made since you guys are a group and they look at you as a group?
If these is real people, they won't let my statements affect their relationships with Bun.
Okay.
But I got a lot of relationships with a lot of people I don't respect, I don't like, I don't want to work with. When I get ready to do my album and I'm calling you and calling you and calling you and you don't call me back, and that means you're not down with helping me get my thing together. But when it's time to do your album, you call me and I had a record back within 24 hours. That means I'm being a real what?
Nigga.
We love TikTok
So
Shop.
now, guess what? If you want to charge Bun B $50,000 for a verse and then try to come back to me and pay me $1 to get me on your album, guess what you are? You fake and you garbage. If you was a cartoon character on your first album, then you need to be a cartoon character on your last.
Wow.
Now, let me say this. That's why I'm calling in to let it be known that things I say don't need to reflect on my brother. He can have a relationship with them dudes all he wants to. Because truth of the matter is, if you fake and you abroad and we go to a club somewhere and somebody jump on me, you ain't going to help me fight no way.
Yeah.
You're going to run. I don't need to be friends with you. And the next thing is this. If I ain't never had a personal phone number on you, I got to call your personal assistant to get to you. Newsflash, you ain't my friend in the first place.
Respect.
I'm down with Outkast, the Goody Mob, the whole Dungeon family. I'm down with Jazzy Faye. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with Lil Jon. I'm down with people that get back in touch with me after I call them, man. And if I'm calling you to do some work, and you don't get back with me, then you a fraud. All you gotta do is call me and tell me you don't want to get on the record with me, and that's cool.
Right.
Hey, Pimp, what's up with, the new rappers? They may start to say, well, I have heard people say that you mad because of the new generation is on a whole new movement. What do you have to say about that?
Who are the new rappers?
Appreciate that,
like
KDH.
a T.I. and a Jeezy and all the one-hit wonders I hear.
Yeah, there's a lot.
They would say because
you think T.I. is a one-hit wonder?
No. We talking about like
the new artists.
Thank you for the rose, Michelle. How you doing? Good morning,
best.
best.
Can get mixed up. Like you see how somebody can write something and then people take it the wrong way. Now, do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's back up. Now, the new rappers, who are they?
Well, since you were away and came out, there's T.I., there's Jeezy, there's Flip, and who else? Tell me names for their rappers.
I mean, the list goes on.
The list goes on.
Young Jock, Dro.
The list goes on, but they're saying that, since you were a part of the old game, that you don't respect the newer rappers on the scene.
I could have swore I was on T.I.'s album explaining what the King of the South was, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I could have swore I just did a song with Young Jeezy called the Dickie song that didn't come out. And every time he commented to do something, I did it for free and never charged him no money. I could have swore that after Crime Mob took my freestyle off the Lil Chicks mixtape and put it on their album, I didn't even sue him or do nothing to him. I could have sworn that every time I get in an interview, I'm taking up for these dudes when it's some New York dudes or some LA dudes trying to diss them. I mean, show me one place where I talk down on Young Jock. Show me one place where I talk down on these dudes in a way to say.
Okay, let me pause right there. So let me give you some narrative on that. So basically what he's doing here is discrediting anything that the entertainment media put out to try and create division amongst the hip hop community and different hip hop artists. So let me uh, put some comparison on that to you, so you'll get it and understand. Tupac and Biggie, the media created an East Coast West Coast rivalry. In reality, these people, Biggie and Pac, were actually cool with each other. Now Pac wasn't cool with Puffy Jacket, right? But the media put enough on that flame to create a whole division amongst two coasts, right? But in all retrospect, even Tupac's father has stated that when Tupac was ambushed at Quad Studios, Big came to the hospital to see him. Now, I'm blessed enough to be friends on the other platform that has the word book in it, and with Pac's stepbrother and his father. And a lot of things that I do for him on there, I send it to them and make sure it's okay before I even post it, and they're okay with it. So I know that what the media was trying to feed us between those two artists is not what was really going on. And I don't care who come on here and discredit or try to argue that point down and say that they this and that and the third. I don't. I'm gonna listen to the family members before I listen to anybody else, right? And they said they were friends. They said Big came to the hospital. They even said Pac no, Big had nothing to do with it. Just let y'all know that. But by the media creating that, they got what they were setting out to do, and we lost two people, two of the greatest rappers we'll ever know. And I don't care how long the industry goes on, right? Those are the two greatest. If you had a Mount Rushmore of rappers, it'd only be two heads, Big and Pac. You understand? And so they got that point across. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't believe that there's a Puffy Jacket who wasn't influential on both of those people being gone, as well as a Camel Face. All right, but we're going to get back to the interview. But that's what he was doing. He's so anything that the media put out as far as him having issues or saying he was talking about or disrespecting the other artists, he telling you that's a lie. I wasn't. And if I'm talking about an artist, like he said, I'm gonna say their name and a fight gonna go with it. So he let them know, if I'm talking about you, I'm gonna call you out. And if you don't like it, when we meet up, we can square up. He just put it like that. And then that's just what it
They're
is.
not supposed to be in this game. They're not supposed to be getting money. My thing is this. I want us to continue getting money for the next 15 years instead of falling off and letting it go back to the west or to the east because we're not putting no social commentary into the record. And the truth be told is, look, hey, man, if you started being a gangbanger after your first or your second
TikTok
album,
shop.
you a buster. And these kids out here listening to us and looking up to us because a lot of them don't have no father figure in their house. And every record you get on, you lying about some dope. Talking about
We love
square.
TikTok shop.
Man, guess what, man? Get off the boo-boo. Get off of it, man. Because if you're going to talk about some squares and talk about the drug game, you need to talk about the bad side of the drug game, too.
Okay.
What about when you get busted and you go to jail? What about when your mama and your wife and your kids is crying because they at home and you in prison in a cell? What about that part of the dope game? Everybody talking about how many cars and how many jewels they gonna buy and how many squares coming off. You know what I'm talking about? But ain't nobody talking about the other side of it. So if you're gonna talk about that, you gotta talk about both sides.
Right, Tracy.
And I'm gonna say it again.
Tracy Bates.
If you a
right.
cartoon character on your first album, you need to be a cartoon character on your last. Because the way we start is the way we gonna finish.
Can't do nothing but respect that, homeboy.
You go back to that Ozone article and you read every statement I made in there, and if you find a place in there where I lied about somebody after you research it, y'all give me a call back and I clarify what I meant.
It is. There it is, Pimp.
Now guess what? Now let
Amber
me say
B, good
this,
morning.
and I want it to be clear. I'm not apologizing for what I said. I'm clarifying what I meant by what I said.
Right.
We all know Atlanta the South. We got to start acting like it's the South. And we got to start having some pride like it's the South. And let me say this, y'all might not like this, because a lot of people don't like stuff. But ATL is considered to be the gay capital of the world right
We
now.
love TikTok
And y'all
Shop.
got clubs over there with boys standing in the parking lot kissing on the mouth. And you know, if you're gay and you're out of the
We love
closet,
TikTok
that's
Shop.
cool, because everybody got their preference. But man, it's time to start cleaning up our own neighborhood, because a dude from Texas shouldn't have to get on in no magazine to make you clean up your neighborhood. So if I really wanted to diss Atlanta, it was a bunch of things I could have said about a bunch of people, and I could have really, really dissed and hurt some feelings. Now, don't you know that?
Yes, sir.
Because I know who the gay rappers is.
We love
I
TikTok
know who
Shop.
put them models, stick them dildos in them.
Whoa, boy, TikTok Shop. Okay. Okay, because we're coming up on the end of the interview, and Pimp C is Pimp Cing, right? And we love Pimp C for Pimp Cing, right? But on the platform, we can't allow Pimp C to Pimp C, right? So, with that being said, I will tell you all. I mean, we only got like 4 more minutes of it, but I can tell he's getting into the real. And so I don't want TT to come on here in her feelings. All right. So if you all would like to go and hear the interview in the entirety, which we all pretty much had, you got 4 more minutes. But if you would like to go and hear it on your own accord, just go on YouTube. I found it under Creative, and the word creative actually has 2 E's at the end. So just add an extra E. But Creative Mind. And the word mind has 2 D's at the end. So that's creative with 2 E's and mind with 2 D's. And it's on YouTube, and you can go and look it up and listen to the interview yourself. But that's it. I just wanted to make sure I provided my receipts with what I said a year and a half ago when people were saying, "You're lying." No, here they go. This is what here's what they were doing.
You on here lying, man. Ain't none of that happened. Pimp C wasn't with Beehive. That's a lie. That's a lie. You lying, man. You just trying to hold the black people down. You ain't telling the truth.
And here we are, a year and a half later, and like my guest said earlier, it keeps coming back around, and this time it's stated, it's alleged that it's gonna come up in the trial with Puffy Jacket. So here's what I'm trying to say, people. In closing, before you come on a person's platform and you don't like what they're saying, either just leave and go out, get your scroll. Your thumb should be strong. Get your stroll on with your thumb, and go to another platform, or stick around, take in what they're saying, and then go do your research with the nuggets of information that they give to you. That's it. That's all we got to do here. But when you come on a person's platform and you try to be all loud and disruptive and say this, that, and the third, and then it's okay to have your opinion. And it could be a difference of opinion. You see, I like to refer back to an episode of The Cosby Show. And I forget who Bill was talking to on there, but he was basically he's asking the person, like, what is your favorite meal? Or what do you like to eat when you go to a restaurant? And the person was like a porterhouse steak, mashed potatoes, this, that, and that, right? Abness, that's who he was talking to. Abness, when Vanessa brought him home, and they were gonna get married, but the family, Vanessa hadn't told the family anything about Dabness, and so he was explaining to him. All right, so imagine you go out to this, 5-star restaurant, and you order your porterhouse steak and your mashed potatoes and this and all that, and when they bring it to you, they bring it to you on top of a trash can lid. Well, it's still the same food that you like. It's the presentation. Like if it was on a plate, you would eat it, but because it's on a trash can lid, it's not as appetizing, right? You get me? Amber B, you remember that episode? So okay, it's the same thing. You can come in and have a difference of opinion. That's fine, but it's how you present your difference of opinion. And yes, my show is called hashtag, and I'm gonna say it, but that's not just a name. I'm gonna say it. You understand? And I try to be respectful. I really do. But if I'm gonna meet you with the same energy you meet me with, You understand? But some things I just know, and whether you like it or not, I'm gonna say what I know, because I'm on here trying to influence and not influence, but trying to inform other people of what's going on, because there are, just like the guests we had on here earlier, there are people who are willing to get into the game and wanting to get into the game and have dreams of being successful in it, in the music industry and the acting industry. I have a son that's in the acting industry, and so I want them to be able to flourish and be successful without selling their dignity. And so if it means I got to get on here and ruffle some feelings, well, guess what? I'm fluffing my pillow. I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. But we gonna do that work on here. Yeah, we get on here, we give you a little bit of conspiracy, we give you a little bit of opinion here and there. But like I said, we are also going to present you with truth and facts. Now, that's just what it is here. You know what the platform is about, so you're more than welcome to come back if you like it. If you don't, you keep it pushing. And no shade and no hate. We just agree to disagree. That's called being mature. And when you figure it out and you come on back around and hey, you did say this months ago, and now I'm seeing it come, like, I'll accept your apology. And guess what? Guess what? Even if your pride won't allow you to say you was wrong, we already know, and we accept your apology anyway. 'Cause we know you want to say it, but your pride is like have you like choking like you're about to vomit, right? And you don't want to say it, but we know, we know, we keep accountability. All right, it's all good. So look, that's the end of the day's show. Hey, once again, thank you all for joining. Have a great day. Enjoy your Memorial Day. Once again, I want to give uh, thanks to our soldiers that, like I said, they just give of their lives to protect us and to keep us safe here on our land. And even though we have a war within our own walls and our own borders, but still, nonetheless, I love you, bestie. I love you. Just thank you so much for the video you did yesterday. I can't tell you how much you had me tearing up on that. I really appreciate that, and I'm thankful to have people like you in my life. You know what I mean? And that hold me accountable too. Like, I could say something on here, and if I'm wrong, hey, Joanne will go and let me know. Hey, look, no, this is how it happened. This is what they meant. You know. Hey, I can't wait to see you wear it. Neither. Like, and understand. I'll probably have more coming your way. I just it's refreshing to be in a company or in the presence of people who love genuinely. You know, I'm learning from reading a lot in the Bible that love is what a lot of things continge on. You know what I mean? And I get that from that, and from you all, and I love it. I love it. Right, Lock. Yep. You can go on it. Look, if you miss any episodes here, go on my YouTube channel, G Smooth 404 on YouTube, and I post shows on there for those people who weren't able to make it in. They can go on there and see. You know. Yep. G Smooth 404. That's my channel over on YouTube. And you go in, and there's if you go to my, I think it's called videos or playlists, something like that, and look under Auntie Lovey. Good morning. How you doing? Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. What was that? The big shout out. I appreciate that. Thank you. She's another one. She's another that's good. That's good people too, and knows about the record industry as well. And speaking of that, how could I forget? I'm sorry. Wednesday, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Wednesday at 9 p.m. Join us here on hashtag I'm gonna say it. We'll have our guest Deb. Deb will come and be our special guest, and she is the former fit model for Puffy Jacket. And before y'all try my bestie,
She wasn't at the freak offs, so don't try my bestie like that. She ain't no freak.
all right. So before, but she has some insight on her times when she worked for Puffy Jacket, and the things that she saw and experienced. You know what I mean? And she's gonna come on and she's gonna share those with us, right? We're gonna interview her on that, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited. That's this Wednesday. This Wednesday, right? And Saturday, that's going to be May 31st, I have 4 incredibly strong women. Have a good day, Auntie Lovey. Thank you for dropping by. And don't be a stranger. Come by more. We have 4 immensely strong women that will come on the platform as our special guests. And that show is called Real Survivors of DV and SA. And they're going to give their accounts and their experience of relationships they were in that involve DV and SA, and how things, don't get me wrong, they're not victims. They don't call themselves victims. They call themselves survivors, and that they are. Hold on. El Cousin says, Mr. Smooth, do you put an event out so we can register for Wednesday? It's my reminder. Yes, yes. It's out right now. In fact, I will get that sent to you after the show. But yes, there are events out for both. I put event tabs out for both, and so please go on and register to come in and join us, because you don't want to miss either show. Like I said, Deb, I know Deb is going to be, and the reason why is because we have this thing where people just have an issue with buying that Cassie could be a victim, right? And so what I'm trying to get people to understand is, while you're focusing on just her testimony and her being a witness, it's not about her. She's not there. Let me put it. Let's see. How can I make this simple? Put it in simple terms. Cassie is not there to support or influence a Ricardo charge. She is there to build a foundation, or create a foundation for them to build his I say his, I'm talking about Puffy Jack character. And now we're going to start building towards the Ricardo charge. Now, I do believe, if you paid attention to Kid Cudi's testimony, they really put some framework on that. That's when they started building with that. And you have the whole kidnapping, and with Capricorn Clark, and if she comes on and testify, she's going to put some more structure up on it. But with Kid Cudi's testimony, and him bringing up the kidnapping of Capricorn Clark, I mean, the going in people's houses, breaking into people's houses, and disrupting property and tearing open presents, and the of the car. Oh, okay, she testifying tomorrow. See, so now all of you are starting. You're gonna start seeing that Ricardo, how that Ricardo come into play. I've tried to explain it to you till I'm blue in the face, and you still don't want to buy it, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not gonna keep doing it. But the lovely Deb is gonna come on and put some more meat on that bone as far as the content of character that this man has, right? And then the 4 ladies that's gonna come on Saturday is going to explain to you all their experiences of dealing, having to live through DV and SA relationships, and what makes it hard to leave. Because a lot of people, why she didn't leave, why she did. All right, so we're gonna get all of that covered. 2 great shows you want to be a part of. 2 great shows that I want you and need you to share with other people to come in and join, because we got to influence people, man. We've got to get them to understand. We've got to educate them. We've got to I keep saying influence. That's not what I'm looking for. Educate. We've got to educate them, because that's how a lot of victims don't come out, because a lot of people shame them again, or a lot of people speak out of what they would do or wouldn't do when they've never been put in a situation. Hey, good morning, Jess. Saying, how you doing, bestie? Happy Memorial Day to you as well. And so these 5 women, Deb on Wednesday, and the 4 we have. Let me hold on. I have it all written down on my notes. Jenny, Angel, Dimple Cheeks, and Dr. Rashida. Those are going to be our guests for Saturday's show. You all don't want to miss it. Hashtag I'm going to say it. we're doing some things this week, and I want to make sure you all are there with us. All right. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to let you all go. Like I said, I know some of you got to hit the grocery store. You got to get ready for the cookout. I got to go get ready to spend time with my friends and my family. So we're going to conclude here, and Lord willing, we'll meet back here tomorrow morning because the trial will get back to going tomorrow. So we'll meet back here, and we'll have our show. I'm going to say 8:30. However, hold on. I have a friend, and she changed her name, but I can't remember. We call her Chi on here, but I think it's Keep It Cheeky or something. I can't remember the name of her show. It's her handle on here now, but she's starting her show, and I want to make sure I give her support as well. So I'm gonna say 8:30. However, I have let her know that if she's gonna start her platform, her show at 8:30, that I'll scale back and start mine at 10, just so I'll be able to go and support her because that's what we got to do here. It still takes a village, and I still believe in giving out the love that you receive, and I receive a lot of love, and I want to definitely give it back out to people who bless me with that. So I'm gonna say 8:30. If she decides that she wants to go on at 8:30, then I'll go at 10. I'll just support her. All right. But peace and blessings. Be safe out there. Be safe grilling. Make sure you know what you're doing. If you got somebody that don't know how to work the grill, please step in for them. We don't need no accidents. We need everybody to come back here tomorrow and going forward and be safe. We just want to enjoy the day. All right. All right. Peace and blessings. I love y'all. Be safe.